All right, and welcome back. As you can see, I'm starting to paint the interior of this, and I decided to go the rattle can route in that I don't think I need to spend a whole lot of money on the interior paint because it's going to get scratched up and all that anyway. And it actually turned out that this stuff actually worked pretty well. I'm using Rust-Oleum Primer Plus paint. It's something I got from the Lowe's aviation aisle, and it actually seems to do pretty well. I put several layers on, I think 3, maybe 4, and then you'll see in future videos, but I do this cream base, and then in all of the pockets, all the square rectangles between the framing, I actually did that a darker tan, and that's kind of to go with the theme that we're going to go with, which is going to be almost like a Ferrari leather interior. So I thought it would be kind of cool to set it up. And actually, if you look in the background there, you can kind of see that dark tan, brownish color in the squares. So now I'm starting to work on some of the items for the seats. I'm making the seat backs, and it's actually pretty straightforward, not a big issues that you find with this, other than one of the things that I've caught myself a few times, and I repeated it here by mistake, is using the wrong piano hinges. And if you go on Van's website, they've got a write-up that talks about what the different size of piano hinges mean. It's a 3/8 -3 and a -4, which is just the width of the piano flange. And I accidentally used the wrong flange initially, so I had to redo a bit of it. So that's one thing that's taken some time, is a lot of redos. And what you see me working on here is just the back support for the seat back where it goes up against the frame rail. So one of the piano hinges will go here, but then also the other piano hinges for the bottom of the seat back where it attaches at the floor. Again, most of this was straightforward. It was just a matter of really paying attention to the actual parts that I'm using. And so that kind of delayed it. And then also, as you see, I've got that rattle can here. I'm painting everything now as I go to make it easier. And so one of the issues that I came across, and I'm still trying to find a resolution to, is when I paint this, I wanted to go over it with some kind of hardener, some kind of sealant, if you will. And so I used a lacquer on top of everything on the interior with the idea that that'll help minimize scratching. And where I was able to get it to work, it worked great. A lot of the interior, like I said, I did 3 layers of this rattle can spray, and then I did another 2 layers of this clear lacquer paint over the top of it. 90% of it turned out great. I did the three layers of initial color, then I went with 1,000 and 3,000 grit sandpaper to sand it down pretty smooth, and then I went over the top of that with the lacquer, and it all turned out really good actually. But when I started doing some of these panels, I repeated that same process, and I don't know if it's the lacquer or if it's the Primer Plus paint rattle can spray that caused it to dry up too fast, and it kind of shrunk the layers beneath it and created these spider webs. And so I'd have to go sand it all down and reapply it, and it seemed hit or miss. So I'm still trying to work out what exactly is causing that. But here you can see the interior is coming together. As I said, you can see those panels that I painted, kind of a Woody's style paint job that I decided to go with. And again, we're going to go with kind of the Ferrari leather color seats and things like that. And I think the exterior panels of the seats, both the bottom and the back, are going to be a light tan, and then I'm going to have a center panel that's going to be that darker tan. I think it'll go really well. And so now I'm going into finally another major milestone, and I'm mounting the engine mount. And so you see me using here is a hand drill with a 3/8 reamer, and obviously you want this to be straight, so you need to use a piece of wood that'll create a nice surface area so that your drill is straight. I just took a 2x4 and I cut out a 3/8 and then reamed it to the 3/8 size so that it holds that 3/8 reamer pretty well. And so you do all 6. I think there's 6 altogether that you ream out to a 3/8. And then, as you see here, putting on the engine mount. So this is going to be a quick one. I'm going to cut it out here. Again, for those who continue to watch these videos, I appreciate it. Those who are new, welcome to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We'll see you next time.